He is defending everything being on fire. That's what he's defending, guys. He just likes everything on fire. His opponent is Joe Pera, who is saying nothing should be burnt. He won't have any of this. Are we ready, guys?
Yeah.
All right, let's debate. Get it on, guys.
After you. Actually.
Really?
Ha!
Okay. Thank you, Michael and Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Especially because it's a perfect excuse not to take my girlfriend to that fancy restaurant she wanted to go to, Burger King. Haha, I read it was a good start to start public speaking with a joke. I'd like to start by saying that Jake is one of the nicest people I know. I've never seen him without a smile on his face or an innovative joke in his pocket. You may not know this, but Jake volunteers as big brother every weekend. However, he'll never talk about it. I only know because I saw him with Devon, age 12, from the Bronx at the New York Auto Show eating kettle corn. However, I don't agree with his views that everything should be on fire.
I too would like to thank Michael Shockey for inviting me, all of us, to this event. I would also like to say that Joe Pera is to comedy what Jesus was to everything. He is a redeemer, an inspirational figure, best head of hair in all of comedy. I'm going to say that right now. I rarely get to say the words flaxen so often.
I appreciate it.
That is a flaxen head of hair. As a comedian, he is peerless. I look forward to everything he does, and I would just like to state that if you think about it, it would be pretty great if everything was on fire. I conclude my being said.
I think that's all we want to do in round one, right?
Yeah, round two now.
You want to start this time?
All right. I have to. From the humble cigarette to the noble firework, most things are improved once you set it on fire. When I was but a child, I suddenly, through the use of video games, became aware that what is better than an uppercut? A flaming uppercut.
That's right.
What is better than a skull than a flaming skull? What is better than a sword than a flaming sword? Growing up, I realized that fire had a magical quality. It could purify, it could cleanse. Who among you didn't spend a restless hour in homeroom imagining your hometown elementary school set ablaze? The embers dancing in front of you as everything you hated fell away. When I set out to make everything on fire, it's not without its challenges. Many of you have seen movies, and most professional stuntmen can tell you that you can light yourself on fire without any specific harm, assuming it's carefully managed. And I'm no monster. The fires would be carefully managed, but think of all the opportunities we'd have. For example, a fire truck on fire.
Oh!
That shouldn't be. Famous figures, of course. I'm talking about the wonderment that would be famed comic creator Stan Lee on fire. Again, teachers, presidents, leaders, friends, family, all on fire. Now, when I say everything, I mean everything. I have decided to show a few concept renderings. This, for example, is the entire nation of Belgium on fire, which I believe would be a wondrous sight. Not shown, of course, Luxembourg and France, also similarly engulfed in the cleansing flames, arousing all of us. I also find fire to be incredibly erotic. Finally, I have to say that as Americans, we always stand up to whatever challenges life gives us. We put men on the moon. We've harnessed the atom. And considering that most of the world is in fact covered in water, setting the oceans on fire would be a significant challenge. But luckily, thanks to the BP oil disaster, it is actually quite achievable. Presented as a shark that is on fire, the coolest thing I've ever imagined. In face of this overwhelming evidence that fire makes everything better, I would like to hear how you would go about denying us this wonderful drink.
Well, Jake, point taken. I'm no artist, but I know that those images would look much better on HD television. But unfortunately, the Sony plant is on fire. I'd just like to say, fire is not a good thing. I was walking down my block last week, and I waved to the owner of the local laundromat that I frequent, Ted, and I said, "Hi, Ted. I'm glad your laundromat is not on fire." He said, "Me too. For if it was, I would lose my business, livelihood, and ability to support my family." What a lovely day, I thought. The next day, I walked down the street, and I happened to be on fire, and it wasn't quite as lovely.
Closing arguments. Rock, paper, scissors,
Sure.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Well, most, what are those people called who want everything on fire? Pyromaniacs. Most pyromaniacs derive pleasure from seeing things on fire. But Jake, you are one. You're cool. But Jake, in fact, takes this too far. He personally derives pleasure from the outcome of stuff being on fire, including burn victims. And I put together some pictures of child burn victims. And I don't want to show the audience because they're pretty graphic images, but I will show Jake, and you can just look at his face and see how he reacts. And now that he has taken pyromania too far when he can smile at a child burn victim. Ready?
Yeah. That's just a cover. Why are you smiling? He doesn't know. Is that what he mouth? Did you see him mouth that? Yeah. He doesn't know how much he likes it. Again?
You are a monster.
No, Jake, you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed opponent. Yes, those days when we are not on fire are pleasant and repeatable and forgettable. Every day we walk about just not being on fire. Normal Americans just going about it. I suggest that carefully and manageably, we wear those like heavy wools that can easily be put out. Avoid all sorts of polyesters that would cause severe burns. Always have buckets of water handy. And for one day, for one brilliant moment, we light everything on fire. And we tell our children, "Oh, my life? It was pretty okay. There was that one time we lit everything on fire. Woo! That was pretty cool." Also, the rebuilding efforts would stimulate the economy in this time of recession. I thank you and yield the floor.
All right, guys. Here's where the crowd participation goes. If you thought Jake, the pyro, won this debate, give us and if you thought Joe Pera won,
No fire. If anybody wants some boo pictures.